We are visiting Kaduna, which is a long-standing friend and partner of the United Kingdom. We have a long-standing relationship here. But the purpose of my visit this time is to hear from you. I want to hear about your experiences of some of the terrible violence that has afflicted the community here. We hear about intercommunal violence. We hear about it's partly about conflict over resources. We hear there may be an ethnic dimension, a religious dimension, but we're here to hear from you. If you could give us your direct experiences, and we can help shine a spotlight on those experiences, raise the profile of the challenges you're facing, and then work with Gideons and your leaders in the community to see what we can do to help. So that's the first reason I'm here. The second reason I'm here, and the reason I'm wearing a very bright orange scarf this morning, let me make sure you can all see it, is because we are in the middle of the 16 days of activism against gender-based violence. Unfortunately, where there is community violence, there is also gender-based violence, and by that I mean violence against women, girls, and increasingly, sadly, young boys as well. This is a scourge in our communities. It's happening all over the world. Here in Nigeria, it affects every community. It affects rich people, poor people, people from all ethnicities. And with COVID, the violence has increased. So as we're in the middle of the 16 days of activism, we're also here to hear about your experiences of gender-based violence and to express our solidarity with people who've suffered, to encourage you to speak out, because it's only by speaking out we can hold the perpetrators to account and bring you justice. But we know you need support, you need legal support, medical support, psychosocial support. It's very, very challenging. And I appeal to all of you who are leaders in your communities, support these victims. It is not their fault. It is the fault of the perpetrator. Support them and encourage them to speak out.
I was taken on the 16th of September 2020 in my room without anything. Me and my dad was taken, and five girls in the next flat of our neighbor. We were taken around 9:45 in the night and taken to the bush. We didn't know anybody, nothing. We checked all the whole day, as in the whole night till the next day. We reached their camp around 4 to 5 in the evening the next day. While we were there, we prayed in the morning. We asked them, we begged them for us to pray in the morning. They allowed us to pray. We wake up, we cook. Me and one of the 5 girls that was taken, we cook every day. 3 to 4 times every day we cook. While we were there, they demanded for 50 million because we're taking 8 of us. They demanded for 15 million. But at the end of the day, they collected 2 million. They bought machine Bajaj, new one, and they bought recharge card worth 200,000 naira. We came back on the 3rd of October, and we also checked while coming back. They gave us transport fare of 1,000 naira each because we're taking 8, so they gave us 1,000 naira each. While we were coming out, we busted at our NYSC camp here at Sabon Gaya. That's where we busted out. Thank you.
One thing I need to make very clear is that Chikun is not in conflict with any other person or group of persons. It is a peaceful communities that have been invaded by bandits, armed bandits, unleashing violence on helpless farmers in the hinterland. The government have tried to do its own part in protecting lives and property of the people. But you may wish to be informed that Chukwu local government is such a vast land. In fact, in landmass, School local government is bigger than Lagos State, and it's bigger than Enugu State. The government have tried to establish more police divisions in the local government in the last 2 years. We have about 9 military outposts spread across the local government, but that is not enough to secure the people. And that is why this carnage have continued to happen. Government is still doing its best to see that more security agencies are deployed to communities in order to protect lives and property. As we speak, we have displaced persons scattered all around the local government. And the government has doing its best to see that they are being catered for. But our best is always not good enough.
I have a problem with this within Kajuru local government about insecurity. So I request the government, from the local government to the federal government level, to avoid this insecurity within the local government. So within Kaduna State, the whole 23 local government in Kaduna State, there is no any local government to produce rice unless Kajuru local government. To lack of insecurity within this year, we are not produce rice like last year. So I request the government, to provide security within the local government to avoid all kind of waɗannan abubuwa.
The situation in Kaduna State is extremely worrying and clearly getting worse, including the highway, where we've seen a very big increase in kidnapping. But here in this community is a good example of the sort of challenges communities are facing, with bandits coming in, destroying farms, kidnapping people, demanding funding, killing members of the community and injuring. And we heard today directly from community members the awful trauma they are suffering. So it is very serious. And I think there are 3 things we need to do. Firstly, we need to ensure accountability, so the perpetrators must be brought to justice, and we need to provide support to the police to do that. Secondly, we need to support the victims to move on with their lives, to give them practical support on livelihoods, but also to help them to deal with the trauma in a psychosocial sense. And this is where communities need to come together. And then thirdly, we need to deal with the underlying drivers of this conflict. Why is it happening? Is it about conflict over land? Is it because some people are using it to exacerbate religious tensions, ethnic tensions? So we need to work on all 3 of those. And we are here working with the Paramala Foundation, with local government, with the police, and with community leaders and women leaders in particular, to try and help to provide some support to the terrible trauma communities are facing. Of course, my first meeting was with the Deputy Governor. The Governor is out of town, but we have a very long-standing relationship here in Kaduna. So we're very well placed actually to provide support, because we work on a whole range of issues from health to education to agriculture. We also, I think, need to do more work with the police, and I met the Commissioner of Police yesterday. So yes, we'll be working on a whole range of issues, building on our strong foundation with the local government here.
Humanity is suffering in Nigeria. The protection of lives and property is in question in Nigeria. That safety is not guaranteed. It's not about political arguments. It's the reality of the daily experiences of the people. And as we listened to the victims, you can hear a family member, one of the victims, standing up and saying 21 of his family members are out there in the bush. 21. You also heard another victim talked about gun wounds in his leg, or on his body, or inside his body. And you had another one, they chased him for 3 months, and they finally got him on the 29th of May 2020. He would have been killed. Humanity is bastardized in Nigeria. Now, I think that the federal government needs to take over and really act to secure security. I agree that security is the responsibility of all, but that is why we have government in place. The government at the federal level truly needs to address this problem in Nigeria. It is not okay to offer assurances, but people continue to suffer. For some of these victims, they've been suffering for decades. When will this horrific security nightmare come to an end? Is it possible for the government of Nigeria, our president, Muhammadu Buhari, to declare a state of emergency as far as security is concerned and face it just like any other major issue? We can't live with this. The danger is that if care is not taken, we will live with this. We shouldn't.
Kidnapper will kidnap 10 people, 12 people. I could remember one market 2 weeks ago, they kidnapped 14 people along the Waku Road. Those people, some of them pay $1 million. Peasant farmers, when a peasant farmer pay 1 million, what do he have? He sold the land that he will cultivate next year. He sold the food he would eat this season. So please, we appeal to our young chairman to take action about all this ugly situation that we are seeing. Some kidnap and kill. Like yesterday, some were injured at the Aguba here. So please, we have more than 50 people that they kidnap within a short time. Please, we are not happy and we are not sleeping, and chairman is betrayed because of the arm those people always go with. We cannot do otherwise unless the chairman advise the heavy security to come and secure us from not sleeping, because we are not sleeping at all. This is the most challenging we are facing now, because we cannot spend 2 days without kidnapping. That's what is worrying us. Nobody sleep. Only women cannot sleep. So what of women? Nobody sleep. For how long? So these are the challenges, and the challenges is how we can go back to our villages and farm, because the local government chairman is trying. So with time, maybe the few that are here, many have gone back. The few that are here, they will go back to their villages, because we have more than 25 villages that we attack. Governments should collaborate with the state, and the state will collaborate with the federal government to come and rescue us from this ugly situation.
Amma abin shine wanda zai tuna da kai a lokacin nima shine ka san naka bai damu komai ya kankanin abin da ya kawo, amma ya nuna cewa in Allah ya barkace shi da yawa zai yi daidan karfin ne ya iya kawo.